now for Jesse Stroud. Dropped it in that previous race. He will not do that again this time, folks. The temperature has warmed up. It is very nice outside. And there we got Hamish here on the outside as well. He will take the last place there on the little 400 as he rings the neck of that little production bike, and they head down into the turn one for the first time in a 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's it going to be? It's Hamish. Has he swept wide? Has he gone right through there from 4? Look at that. He's just got his nose in front. He's gone from third place to first. That was an incredible start. Is he going to hold it though? No, but he'll be there for no worse than second. Great run. He'll run with Jesse. It'll be so it's gone to Jesse, Hamish, Jacob and Blake. Or is it? Yes, it is. That's the order they are. Wow, how did he do that? What a superb start. I would not have expected that. Although it sounds like a 400, of course, being a Lamb's bike, the 400 actually doesn't give it credit to its name. You think, well, of course, 400 is going to be better than 300. No, as a Lamb's motorcycle, power to weight ratio is not as good as those smaller bikes. So they've got the advantage. So well done. Man, he's learned a lot already today, Dennis.
He certainly has. And you talk about power to weight ratio. Young Jesse Stroud would have quite a few kilos over the rest of the field as well. I mean, he would, I think he'd qualify for a lightweight jockey.
He would indeed. In fact, probably somebody in his family is hinting that maybe he should go that way. He might earn some more money rather than cost some more money. But anyway, here they are. Great to watch. We're looking at, remembering, as we saw before, it was Hamish who got that advantage. And then, in fact, he looks to have surrendered that and will look to come back again. It'll be Jacob, I think, is going to take the advantage. No, just Jesse. So there we go. Jesse, Hamish. Oh, look at that from Blake and Jacob. Jacob back in fourth place. He will not be happy there, Dennis.
Yeah, mind you, look at Caleb Gilmore. He's not out of this race as well. Back there in fifth place.
Oh, good. All right. Last time we had a trio and then a gap back to Hamish. He's had a much better race this time, and he's run with those top boys. Oh, I bet you Connor's going to be jumping out of his skin down here. How proud is he going to be of that young man? What learnings he's done here today. Folks, lock that name into your vocab of races. His name is Hamish Fox. He's a newcomer here with racing, and he's on the Lamb's approved little Z400 today, and he is absolutely flying out there and still holding for a second place. But it's Jesse. Look what Jesse's got here. He's got an opportunity to break back, and the other guys are struggling to get past Hamish. That's given Jesse that little bit of a buffer. Look at that. Look at the drive out of the corner.
Actually, in actual fact, we do have at this stage, it's actually Blake Ross that's in the lead, I think. Yeah, I think Blake is actually overtaken.
All right, let's get set to look. They'll come closer to us at the moment. I think we've got
down, but I'm sure that's Blake Ross's bike, followed by Hamish, followed by Jacob, and then Jesse.
No, we got it. Are you okay? Oh, yes, it could be the white letters. Yeah, take your Dennis. Take your Dennis. All right, yes, indeed. So here we go. So what a change. It all went on there before. Let's look out for it. So Blake, how did he do that? That is absolutely exceptional. Well picked up here from Dennis as we looked across. So Blake's got it. Hamish, Jacob, Jesse. So I think it must have been a bit of a hiccup for Jesse. Jesse's something must have happened.
Round the back. I didn't see it myself.
No, because you don't go from first to fourth just through the other three being slightly better over that, because in fact look at his deficit there now. He's dropped right. He has lost probably 3-5 seconds maybe over there, so that's quite significant in that very tight group. All right, so back with Blake.
He looks like he's dropping back as well, which is, he's obviously got something wrong with the bike, I would say.
Okay, well, there you go. The problem for him, that's a bit of bad luck after he showed us his real class there before. But I tell you what, it is Blake Ross that's showing every way he's the leading way. So great to see, and a hearty congrats to him. So Blake out there from Pyro on the Kawasaki Ninja 300, courtesy of Brett Roberts Motors, Dyno, Pyro and White Line Motorcycles, the home of quality brands like Kawasaki, Suzuki and Case Tractors up there on the Hauraki capital. Pyro, of course. Pyro now minus the street race, unfortunately, with the local organisers putting up the white flag on what has been a fantastic run of over 25 years of one of New Zealand's classic street meetings. Now to be no longer, but the name will always be remembered for New Zealand motorcycle history. So there we are, Blake Ross on fire with the crew this time. Much more settled group, but more importantly, looking at that fighting going on behind him. What's that allowed is a bit of a buffer for Blake to get away. Look at that, Blake pulling away because the fight's going on. And is that Jacob who's got, I tell you what, he had to go right around the outside, didn't he?
Yeah, Jacob went around the outside of Hamish, yeah. That's just Jacob's experience. Hamish will learn to counteract these guys sooner or later.
And look, again, this is what Connor's saying. Stay on the tail, stay on the tail. Try and learn so much. See where these guys are going. There's not a lot of difference in the bike. And I'll tell you what, for the amount of lesser experience he's got, there'll be more learning than he could do with 12 months at school. Not to knock the education system, but you get the idea. He's just learning so much out there at the moment. So brilliant to witness. Let's get on fire with this group as he goes with him. Hamish hanging there, and there's Jesse now. Jesse's going right up to the tail there and trying to fight his way back. For whatever happened last time, he'd dropped right off the pace.
Jesse, to me, looks as though he may have a braking problem. Jesse's a fantastic braker, and he's actually losing it coming into the corners. He's not closing up on brakes like he usually does.
All right, so there we go. Brilliant pick up here by Dennis, and I think he could be onto something for sure. So Blake, Jacob, Hamish and Jesse will be the order that they go through. Keep your eyes on Jacob, folks, because he's out to do the attack. 0.578, the buffer in there, absolutely nothing in it, but it's still Blake Ross to lead him. He has already got one race win under his belt, looking for another one. But I tell you what, the work's cut out from here, because now Jacob Stroud's back and on attack. Look at that, cutting right down there on that advantage. Man, he's on his tail. So now rather than a quartet, we've got two pairs, a bit of a gap there, and still Jesse not able to get past Hamish. And Dennis, I think, has picked up a significant factor, because look at when we look at that part, when you see him pull out of the corner, look, he's going right there on his tail, but then going into the corner, as Dennis has picked up, doesn't have that advantage, because losing something on brakes. As we then look out for our lone fifth, because hats off to Caleb Gilmore, the number 27, because Caleb out there on the Carl Cox Motorsport, Gilmore Homes and Builders supported R3 as a major improvement. Now Caleb, here's this young little kid that we watched through the Jixer Club, and he was virtually started off as a no-name, and by the time we got here to Taupo for the final, I think he ended up on the podium 2 out of the 3 races. Dennis, so he was a real find.
Well, that's what the Jixer's all about, isn't it? Again, that one would be over a Superbike Series. How many people made the podium of that as well?
Oh yes, yeah.
As you said, there was somewhere where there were 11 bikes going in, that any one of them could have to the last lap. And knowing Jixers, there would have been a lot of elbows, knees and so on. And even coming out of the last corner, you're not guaranteed to win in Jixer.
Right, well, that young Cameron Goldsmith, he was my favourite from Manfield, where he was the fastest rider in the race, and yet he finished in 9th place. There was 11 in the entire pack, and they were absolutely jostling. In fact, on that last corner, when he came through in 9th, one rider touched another rider, and another 2 riders went down. So that's how tight they were. I tell you what, sardines in a can were forming more formality than those boys were out on the racetrack that day. So great to see our Jixers. Long may it continue. Jixer Cup racing, part of Suzuki Series, kicking off again 8th of December, along with 15th of December, and then on Boxing Day. Lock it in here at Mighty Taupo, the Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. This same venue, different track on that day, but it will be more great Suzuki racing from the 8th of December later this year. Bring it back with New Zealand's premier international road race series, as we're rocking and rolling here with our Boyd Motorcycles Junior action, and waiting for that freight train run. Oh man, look. Oh.
Just looking further down there at Carl Huber is leading the 250 class.
Oh, he did it. Yes, he got it. He got it. Blake Ross got it. Man, oh man, that was racecraft to the max, because Jacob again tried to go around the outside of him. Then Blake had the sense just to block him off at that corner. Every other corner he had to block the line. And just when Jacob thought he had the opportunity, Blake then just honed straight down. He made the SBN look like a straight, the way he went straight down through there. And when they came around the corner, Jacob had another go at getting him, but couldn't quite get there. So 2 very even machines and 2 great riders. Loving that one. Blake Ross first, ahead of Jacob Stroud. Then go back to Jesse Stroud, who did overtake Hamish Fox late in the race. The margin from 1st to 4th, folks, was only 2 seconds. 2 seconds from 1st back to 4th. So close and exciting as we see those guys. Neat to witness. And as you've picked up, Dennis, the 250 racing within all of that out there is Carl Hooper in 10th place, followed by Derek Kattenberg, and then Lauren May late in the race. Lauren has moved up and taken Derek's place. So again, the 250s, they know what dice they've got going on. They wouldn't know, they wouldn't care who's out in front on those bigger bikes, but in their 250s, they're all nestled against each other. So